Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. Tonight is Monday, August 1st, 2022. And I ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Ogle,
Here.
Trustee Ledden,
Here.
Trustee Severia,
Here.
Trustee Farina. Here. Trustee Petro, Trustee Borelli, Trustee Rossi.
Here.
Attorney Mahoney.
Here.
Chief Chalepis.
Here.
Assistant Administrator Barika.
Present.
And Clerk Schubert is here. We have quorum.
All right, thank you, clerk. Now, if everyone would stand with me, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on here is what we call the unanimous consent agenda. All items on this consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if anyone would like to remove any items from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Farina, a second by Trustee Savaria. We will go through each of these items that are on the consent agenda so that those that are in the audience, as well as those who might be following at home or watching later on a YouTube video or through the website, understand what we're discussing and how it'll be voted on. There's also a packet that is available on our website that includes all this information and the supporting materials. First item on here is the approval of minutes from the regular meeting on July 18th of 2022. If there are no corrections, then we will move on to the approval of the bills with Trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bills this month equal $598,289.52. This is made up of the general corporate fund of $263,492.14, capital development fund of $78,936.59, sewer and water operations and maintenance, $132,259.27, and sewer and water extension fund of $123,600.52. And that's my report this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Savaria. Now we'll go for a item from the Plan Commission. We will go to Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this item is the Root Residence Building Materials and Basement Area Variances located at 324 Center Road. Homeowners Michael and Sharon Root propose to construct a first floor addition to their existing two-story home located at 324 Center Road. The applicants request the granting of a first floor building materials variance to permit the use of non-masonry siding and a basement area variance to reduce the requirement that a basement be equal to 80% of the ground floor area of the first story to accommodate the addition. At the July 14th, 2022 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 2 unanimous recommendations to the Village Board to approve the variance requests. The motion before us this evening is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a building materials variance from masonry requirement to permit the use of non-masonry siding on the first floor and a basement area variance from the required 80% of the ground floor area of the first story to 60.55% to accommodate the construction of an addition to the existing home located at 324 Center Road in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Ledden. Those are all the items that are on the consent agenda tonight. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on any of these items? Okay, hearing none, we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Severia,
Yes.
Trustee Farina,
Yes.
Trustee Rossi,
Yes.
Trustee Ledden.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. The following item is an item that is a sale of water and wastewater systems as owned by the village, and we will go to Trustee Rossi for the report on this.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle.
Okay, the Village of Frankfort owns, maintains, and operates water and wastewater systems that provide water and wastewater services to residents within Timber Ridge Estates, a residential community located in Cook County, servicing approximately 711 connections. Aqua Illinois, Inc., a public water and wastewater utility that furnishes retail water and wastewater service to the public in various portions of Illinois, approached the Village of Frankfort regarding the possible purchase of the Timber Ridge Estates portion that is connected to the village's utility system assets. Purchase of the utility is consistent with Aqua's goal of expanding their service area north along Ridgeland Avenue corridor and would remove annualized maintenance operation costs and future capital improvements needs from the village's responsibility. At its July 13, 2022 meeting, the Committee of the Whole considered the asset purchase agreement between the village and Aqua and determined this portion of the system is no longer necessary or useful to the Village of Frankfort, and the best interests of the village will be served by the sale of the system within this service area. The following documents are available for public viewing on the village website. The asset purchase agreement, including maps of service area, water supply agreement, wastewater treatment agreement. The motion before us tonight is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance authorizing the sale of part of the water and wastewater systems owned by the Village of Frankfort that provides water and wastewater services to residents within the Timber Ridge Estates to Aqua Illinois, Inc. for a total purchase price of $1,400,000.
Thank you, Trustee Rossi. So we do have a motion by Trustee Rossi. Do we have a second? Second. Motion by Trustee Savaria. Is there any discussion amongst the board?
I just have a couple of follow-up questions from last time we got together. So there were a couple of things within the agreement that I just wanted to ask you about real quick.
Would you like Mr. Bellata to come forward?
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
Jim?
Good to see you again.
You too, trustee.
So most of the things were just little wordsmith things, but the one thing I was really trying to wrap my head around was the 7-day period from when the village basically stops receiving the revenue for it in the 7 days before the sale, and how that actually works.
So typically the day before, you'll do your meter reads there. So that'll be our starting point for our meter reads. So you'll be able then to recognize all of that usage up to that point. It could happen as quickly as the morning of the sale. If we do a sale or a closing in the afternoon, you could read them in the morning. Try to get it as close to closing as possible. First, two reasons. One, that you could recognize all the revenue that you have coming to you. And number two, I have accurate reads from that start point as well. So does that help?
Yeah, so the
Okay.
7 days is really just a buffer to say it's gonna
Yeah.
happen within that period of time.
It is.
But you try and get as close to the sale date as
Yeah, and
Yes, you
we'll,
can.
we'll also try to schedule closing where it's close to your billing cycle date. So if you're doing every 30 days, you don't want it, I'll have only 10 days there, and then Aqua's gonna be sending a bill for 30 days after that. They're having, shortened, so we're trying to do the 30 days, and then we'll start our billing then 30 days after that, so you have a full 30 days to recover the revenue coming in, and it's not confusing to the residents. And then we'll eventually get it to our reading cycle dates, which works out for our operations, but early on, we want to accommodate your guys' schedule, only so it doesn't confuse the residents.
Okay, and with regard to the residents, when would you have that meeting with them?
Typically what we do is we'll go through a file with the ICC, make sure that in fact the ICC approves the deal, and then we'll have a public meeting with them, usually 30 days before closing, and just let everybody know. Bring our whole team in, customer service, engineering, operations, everybody in there, so we can explain, hey, this is what to expect moving forward. Here's some bill paying options. That's part of the legislation. You have to go over the financial options for paying bills. So that's when we introduce our whole team to them. And ideally, we're going to hopefully have it at Timber Ridge, something super convenient for the residents that live there.
And just real quick, the timeline for, if approved by the board, what is kind of timeline are you looking at for the sale to happen, and the meeting with the residents, the implementation, when all those things would kind of play out normally?
Sure, typically, so just make an assumption it passes today. We're gonna file a petition with the ICC within 10 days. ICC process, by the statute, has to be done within 11 months. It's typically 7 to 9 months it's taken them. So, you know, we'll know well in advance, because we're doing draft orders and working with the ICC. We'll know about when we're gonna get approval for the ICC. Then we could start scheduling with the residents that, I mean, and we'll know ahead of time if there's issues, the ICC has a problem with it. There's no guarantee they're gonna approve it. We're 100%. We've never structured a deal that they haven't approved, because we know, you know, the rails to stay inside of, but, so it starts from us filing a petition. That starts the clock ticking with the Illinois Commerce Commission. And depending on their schedule, if they want to expedite it and get it done quick in 4 or 5 months, unlikely, but possible, then we'll obviously move all those meetings up much closer. So most likely, we're looking at beginning of beginning of second quarter next year to probably close, maybe end of first quarter.
Okay.
That's probably what it's gonna be.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions from the board? No? Okay. Then we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote, please.
Trustee Farina.
Yes.
Trustee Rossi.
Yes.
Trustee Ledden.
Yes.
Trustee Severia.
Yes.
And Mayor Ogle.
Also, yes. So that motion carries, pass. There is a requirement that this was a 5 vote in order for this to pass, 5 affirmative votes. So that motion is passed. So gentlemen, thank you very much. Next item on here is part of the mayor's report. And the first item on this, and is in my capacity as a liquor commissioner, I will entertain a motion from the floor to adopt an amendment to the liquor ordinance authorizing a reduction in the number of Class E4 liquor licenses, which are a restaurant, which prohibits bar and carry-out, beer, wine, bourbon only, from 1 license down to 0, which reflects Buford's Barbecue no longer serving alcohol. So the motion, if I can, would be to waive the first and second readings and pass an ordinance amending the Village of Frankfort Code of Ordinances, Chapter 113, intoxicating liquor, to reduce the number of E4 liquor licenses from 1 to 0. Can I get that motion, please? Motion by Trustee Farina. Second by Trustee Savaria. Any discussion? All right, I think we'll go to our clerk again for the vote, please.
Trustee Rossi.
Yes.
Trustee Ledden.
Yes.
Trustee Severia.
Yes.
Trustee Farina.
Yes.
All right, thank you, clerk. That motion carries. So tomorrow night will be the Frankfort Police Department hosting its annual Night Out Against Crime. The event tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 2nd, is from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. on Brighter Green. You can come out with your children and enjoy free hot dogs, snow cones, inflatable play equipment, and we'll also have Touch a Truck. There'll be lots of fun things to do out there, the big trucks, and you'll also get a chance to meet some of your elected officials as well as all the police departments. And as an added bonus for anybody who's under a certain age, Officer Riff will be there. So very important to know. The Movies on the Green, the third and final Movie on the Green event is scheduled for this Wednesday, August 10th. The final feature is Field of Dreams, and the movie will begin at dusk on Brighter Green. In case of inclement weather, the rain date is 1 week from the original movie date. We have many things going on in Frankfort tonight, is one of them too. Cruise Night happens every Monday night, and it'll go through September 26th. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. Again, right downtown Brighter Green. Both those lots are usually full. It's hopping tonight. Our country market continues every Sunday through October 30th. It's from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. This is a very popular market. Right now, all the produce is there, as well as they've brought in some peaches, and I think blueberries are in season as well, too. So it's a great market. Lots of people come through this. Our concerts on the Green continue every Sunday evening through August 28th, and that's 6:30 p.m. through 8 p.m. The entertainment for this coming Sunday, August 7th, is Sushi Roll, which coincides perhaps with some development that's coming down here too, but they are a pop cover band. Make sure you bring your lawn chair and stake out your spot early. Come down, have a meal while you're here, and just enjoy a really fun night. And it's all free. So, one last item on here too, and just this is a great program that's opened up nationwide. And there is, along with the 911 numbers and things, there is a new one that's out. It's 988, and it is mental health and suicide. If you have an issue, you're feeling that you need someone to talk to, this is free. It's 24/7. It's completely confidential, and it's a program that's in place all across the country and all across the state. It just went live recently, so you're not alone. If you need somebody to talk to, you can call that number or text it, and you'll get somebody right away. That is it tonight for the mayor's report, and we will go to board comments, and we'll start with our clerk, Katie Schubert.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. The clerk's office is already thinking about the November election, so anyone who really likes to plan ahead, next Wednesday, August 10th is the first day you can apply for your vote by mail application. So you can do that online, by mail, or in person at the Will County Clerk's office. And that's all I have tonight.
All right, thank you. Trustee Ledden.
No comments.
Okay. Trustee Savaria.
I just wanted to recognize my fellow trustee, Adam Borelli, who participated in the Get Sauced Enrico's Spaghetti Eating Contest last Thursday. He didn't win, but he had a strong showing, and I have to say that he didn't have one spot of spaghetti on him at all. So, congratulations to Adam.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Farina.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. I just want to give a thank you to the Frankfort Public Library District. They had invited me to sit on a focus group last week to discuss their strategic plan. It was a great discussion. There was about 15 participants from the community, and there was a lot of positives about the current library system, as well as some great ideas for future opportunities. So it was really great to see. I know our School District 157C is going through a strategic planning process as well right now, so a lot happening in our community. And also, good luck tomorrow night. Good weather tomorrow night, Chief. Looking forward to seeing everyone then. Thank you, Mayor Ogle.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Rossi.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. Okay, what I'd like to do is give a little update for the board of the recent meeting at Laraway Communications Center, which, as everyone knows, is our dispatch for our PD and also for the Frankfort Fire Protection District. Chief Chalepis and I spent 4 lovely hours at the meeting that night. I'm just going to highlight the key items that went on, just so you are up to date. They did pass the 22-23 budget, and the assessment for Frankfort for dispatching for that year will be $458,337. They also did some bylaw changes and approval, and it got them all voted through. They changed probably, I want to say, like 20 different bylaws. That took a couple hours in itself to get done. Bylaw funding. The big thing that came out tonight is they are very, very short-staffed. So if anyone knows anybody looking for a career in communications to be dispatchers, they could definitely use it. They're right now staffed about 50% of where they should be. So it's real tough for the people working there. So if you do have any friends or family be interested, please advise them. You can call the Laraway Communications Center. They're on Laraway Road, or you can stop in there and see if we can get them some help. It would definitely, let's be realistic, it'll help our police and fire also, if they can get some dispatching help. That's about all I have. Chief Chalepis, do you have anything to add?
No, that was a good summary, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Rossi, thank you. And Chief, thank you very much for participating in that. I've sat through many of those meetings in prior years. And what was promised to all of us in the consolidation of these 911 centers and the savings and the efficiency was never realized. And the increase this year, we're up at $450,000 for this. And they had promised that there would be reductions, and instead, every year it goes up, and this year, I think, was one of the biggest escalators. So, Trustee Rossi, thank you for that report. Now we'll go to our Assistant Village Administrator for the Assistant Village Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to give people an update on the resurfacing project for the Village of Frankfort. It is back in action now that the aggregate quarries have reopened. A little bit behind schedule, but they are starting on the east side of town. I think they're in Georgetown right now, and we continue moving west. Due to the delay, it could force them to have to wait to spring to do some of the streets. If you go on our website or on Facebook, there is a map and a listing of those streets that are the possible ones that would be delayed. But if they can get it done, weather stays good, they will get that all done right in order and hopefully be done by this winter. Secondly, I want to let people know that there's a 7-mile section of Old Plank Trail that's going to be repaved starting this August. I think it's actually starting next week. That'll be from Harlem Avenue to Schoolhouse. They will be repairing some sections and repaving most of it. Actually, interestingly enough, it just turned 25 years old this July. But that may have some detours that come off, or some closed sections of the trail, so just wanted people to be aware of that. But we should end up with a really nice trail when we're all done. And I am too looking forward to National Night Out. It's a great event, great way to meet your police department and talk to people in a nice, relaxed atmosphere. That's all I have today.
Thank you, John. Now we'll go to our Police Chief, Chalepis, for the Police Department report.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we've been talking about Night Out. We're super excited for tomorrow night. It looks like we are going to have good weather, a little warm, but that's where the snow cones come in handy, right? So we're hoping to see a lot of kids and a lot of community members out there tomorrow night. We're looking forward to meeting a lot of people and to the different activities. One highlighted event is the fire department's actually going to do a vehicle extrication demonstration, which is really cool to see if you haven't seen that before. And we have so many sponsors and community partners this year, so we should have a really good showing. So we're excited for tomorrow. We hope to see everyone there. I also want to announce another event that we're doing that we haven't done in many years, is we are going to be participating in the Cop on a Rooftop Law Enforcement fundraiser for Special Olympics. So we haven't done this in quite a few years, but we are going to be participating this year on August 19th. The event is going to be from 6 to 10 in the morning at our Frankfort Dunkin' Donuts on LaGrange Road. It's just a really fun way for police to partner with Special Olympics. We're one of the main fundraisers in the state of Illinois. We're hoping to have some special athletes there to help us in this venture. And then guests who make a donation will receive a coupon for a free donut. So on August 19th, please stop by, get your coffee, a free donut, and say hi. And that's all I have tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Now we go to George Mahoney for our attorney's report.
Mayor, I have no report for you tonight.
Thank you, George. Is there any other business to come before our board tonight? Okay. Hearing none, is there anyone who would like to make a public comment before the board? We will be going into executive session afterwards. Yes, Kirk.
I'd just like to call attention to an unsafe situation in Frankfort. It's during the farmer's market where Old Plank Trail crosses White Street. That's a regular free-for-all on Sunday. I walked down there at 10:30 this Sunday morning, and pedestrians are crossing back and forth on the trail, and they're not stopping, and cars are backed up 10, 12 in both directions. And if we don't have a police officer or somebody in there, you know, to help direct this, I'm afraid somebody's going to be injured. I watched cars, they become impatient, so they start inching out into the people as they're walking across the street. You know, because they, like I said, they just realize that there's just hundreds of people walking across the street, so they become impatient. And I'm just afraid that a small child, anything could happen over there. We need a police officer in there, directing, you know, stopping the pedestrians and allowing the cars to move, and it's very hazardous, I think. And there's a lot of people. I live on Elwood Street. I see it every Sunday, and I just wanted to call your attention to it so that way we can address this situation before somebody becomes injured.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments, sir. All right. Is there anyone else who wants to address the board in public comments? Okay. Hearing none, we are going to go into executive session, be discussing litigation. This is under Section 5 ILCS 120/2C11. When we come out of executive session and back into the regular meeting, we will not be making any decisions out of this. This is just information only. And can I get a motion to go into executive session, please? Motion by trustee Savaria, second by trustee Rossi. And now we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Letton?
Yes.
Trustee Severia?
Yes.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Thank you very much. We'll be going into executive session, and everyone that else is in the room will need to clear the room. Thank you.